we live in a world in which you can talk all you want about international niceties and everything else, but we live in a world, in the real world, Jake, that is governed by strength, that is governed by force, that is governed by power. These are the iron laws of the world that have existed since the beginning of time.
But in terms
the beginning of time.
Hello and welcome to Indian Thinker. After World War II, did the world really become peaceful, or did it just become polite and now it's becoming honest again? Because if you look at the data, the facts, the conflicts, 2025 witnessed the highest level of global violence since World War II. So the truth is uncomfortable but clear. The world is not becoming more peaceful year by year. It is moving back towards its true nature. And 2026 had barely begun when Donald Trump openly demonstrated that reality. Venezuela, Canada, South America, Greenland, these are not isolated events. They are expressions of the same instinct. If you ask why, the news will give you explanations. But today, I want to talk about the engine behind those explanations. Whether it was World War I, World War II, or what we see unfolding today, whether in a global context or an Indian context, everything follows one simple truth. And this truth was not acknowledged by America, not by Europe. It was understood in India more than 2,500 years ago. Around 500 BCE, when Europe was fighting for food, water, shelter, and survival from one season to the next, India was writing about human psychology, social evolution, state behavior, political ideology, and power dynamics. One of those texts was the Shastras, written by Kautilya, and inside it appears a concept called mātsyanyāyaṃ. The verse states, Apraṇītaḥ mātsyanyāyaṃ udbhāvayati. In simple terms, when power is not regulated, the strong inevitably devour the weak, like fish in water. This is not cruelty, this is observation. And the modern international order, it operates exactly on this principle. Now comes the irony. When India was fighting for independence, when world wars had already proven how power truly works, India chose a hypothetical ideology.
क्योंकि ये देश अहिंसा का देश है, सारे के सारे महापुरुषों ने अहिंसा की बात की.
While the world innovated weapons, secured borders, and prepared for worst-case realities, India was taught weapons are unnecessary. When atomic bombs were falling, India was given a half-truth, Ahimsa paramo dharma. This was not mistake, but deliberate.
Literally speaking, it is a war going on. It is a war against what? It's a war against adharma. Adharma has to be fought. Remember this point. Let us not talk about ahimsa here. Somebody came in the last century and he made unconditional practice of ahimsa a compulsory thing which has literally weakened this country. What we want is strength, capacity to resist evil. Swamiji has spoken about this very wonderfully. Ahimsa can be, absolute ahimsa can be practiced only by a small number of people. And for the common man and the common woman, remember, we should learn to resist evil. Whenever there is adharma, we should learn to resist it. There are three situations, especially in my assessment, which is very important. We have to fight back and not talk about ahimsa in three situations. Number one, when our country is in danger, what will you do? You will talk about ahimsa? When our rashtra, when our country is in danger, you will sit and talk about ahimsa. You have to fight back. Number one, for fighting back, you need Shakti. Is it not? Can you fight back because without Shakti? You need Shakti, you need this divine, you need the Mahishasura Mardini spirit. She is Asura Mardini. We need this energy which can kill the demons.
Ahimsa is meant for individual morality, not for statecraft, but it was imposed on Indian system.
और अंग्रेजी क्यों? उन्हें कहो कि हिटलर को भी अहिंसा का पाठ पढ़ाए. ये सारी अहिंसा हम हिंदुस्तानियों के लिए क्यों है? नहीं तो कुछ लड़ाइयां ना सिर्फ अहिंसा से नहीं जीती जाती.
China did not reject morality. China placed morality after power. That single decision explains why China is assertive, China is feared, China is powerful. India, under mature leaders, meanwhile, was told, why do we even need an army? This wasn't innocence, it was strategic misguidance. Today, the answer is visible with naked eyes. When global leaders openly admit might is right, it becomes clear ancient India was not outdated, it was accurate, and modern India under hypothetical leaders of the time was taught to forget that accuracy. That is why when you see hard power today, surgical strikes, Operation Sindoor, defense exports, it does not feel like aggression, it feels like delayed alignment with reality. Now is the time for introspection, to stop living in fantasy, to stop mistaking morality for weakness. Ancient India explained how the world truly works. Modern India only needs to remember. Grow strong, grow decisive, become the giant. Jai Hind.